Heat educational program, an excellent cause in honor of Corey Stringer. Amari, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Amari, you know I got love for you, bro, because I usually don't allow Cowboys on this show. You know that, right?
Yeah, I've heard.
All right.
But Amari, we had to celebrate you. You made the move from the Raiders to the Cowboys, and you absolutely balled. During your 9-week run in Dallas, you, Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, only players in the NFL, 50-plus catches, 700 or more yards, and more than 5 touchdowns. Tell us, what do you attribute that resurgence in your play to?
I don't know. That's a good question. The Cowboys, they just believed in me. I came in with a lot of expectations, and they gave me an opportunity to kind of showcase my skill set and see what I can do, see if I was worthy of the trade, and I just wanted to do everything I could to prove them right.
Amari, could you give us some insight in terms of what you felt or how you felt you were viewed coming out of Oakland before you got to the Cowboys? Just how people were looking at you, and how were you feeling about yourself right before you ultimately ended up getting traded to the Cowboys?
I think people viewed me as a player who had a lot of potential, but hasn't quite reached it yet, to say the least. But the way I viewed myself was, if I'm given the opportunity, if I'm put in the right situation, I know I can ball, because football is what I do. I've been playing it all my life. I've been playing receiver all my life. Nobody has played receiver longer than I have. Nobody has played more football than I have in terms of just growing up playing backyard football and all those things like that. And so I know I'm a football player. That's who I am, and I know what I can do. So I've always believed in myself, and I knew when I got to the Cowboys I would have to prove that, and I knew that I would do it.
Amari, you're 25 years old. Like, one of the reasons that the trade made some sense is that people could see your face now without the helmet on. You look like a baby. I mean, you're entering your prime, right? You're not like some old player. 25 years old on a team that has every piece they need. You got a defense, you got a quarterback, you got a running back, you got good secondary receivers, you got a veteran tight end coming out of retirement to help in the locker room and on the field. Every single thing you need, and it's the Dallas Cowboys. Spotlight focused on you. From a guy who looked like he was regressing, like, oh, he should be a superstar, to a guy now who's so productive in the middle of all that. Can you describe the feeling? What are the expectations this season?
Yeah, I mean, it feels great to be a Dallas Cowboy, one of the most storied franchises in the history of sports. It feels like I'm in the NFL playing in the Dallas Cowboy uniform. And as of now, the expectations are the same for every team. The expectation is to win the Super Bowl, to be the last team standing, the last team to win a game. Those are the expectations.
You said it feels like you were in an NFL uniform when you put on the Dallas Cowboys uniform. Does that mean you didn't feel that way, like that, when you were in an Oakland Raiders uniform?
No, I won't necessarily say that I didn't feel that way in an Oakland uniform. I would just say in a Dallas Cowboy uniform, I would say when I had dreams of playing in the NFL when I was younger, and the spotlight, the primetime games, and all those types of things, it feels like that dream has finally come to fruition as a Dallas Cowboy. And I'll just leave it at that.
Let me ask you this. Your man Dak Prescott, he's your quarterback. He's in the news now because obviously contract negotiations are taking place and what have you. We just saw a guy like Carson Wentz get paid what he got paid, even though he hasn't been to the playoffs for the Philadelphia Eagles the last 2 years due to injury. When you guys see something like that and you think about your teammate Dak Prescott and what he's worth, how are you viewing that situation? Is it just business? All right, he's got to handle his business, let the chips fall where they may, or do you guys walk around with this attitude and a willingness to verbalize this is a guy that deserves his money too?
Yeah, I mean, from the few weeks that I've played with this guy, man, the energy he brings to the table, the will to win, it's unmatched, really. I mean, I haven't seen many quarterbacks like him. I see this guy in the weight room, and this is just a small example, but most quarterbacks don't have the best bodies, or probably really don't care much about their weight room because they're more on the cerebral side of the game. But this guy takes every rep serious, doesn't miss a rep, and I think that's a big part of who he is. He's just a competitor. He wants to do everything the right way, and I haven't played with too many guys like Dak Prescott, so I think he definitely deserves everything that's coming to him, and he definitely deserves to be paid amongst the highest paid quarterbacks in the league.
What about you coming into your contract situation? Should you be one of the highest paid receivers in the league? Do you think you should be the highest paid receiver in the league?
Well, if not now, I'm definitely looking forward to earning that respect, and definitely looking forward to coming into this year and just putting up those numbers for my team and really showing what I can do in a full season as a Dallas Cowboy. I know that I have the skill set to be one of the highest paid receivers. I'm just all about going out there and proving it.
I mean, listen to that. That's perfect.
Y'all made the playoffs last year. You went to the divisional playoff round against the Rams. I was there. I was in attendance for that game. Dallas Cowboy fans were hiding from me after the game, but that's a different story for another day. They were hiding. We couldn't find any Dallas Cowboy fan.
Why you was on the other side?
And I wasn't on the other side. I was in the end zone. In between, I was in the end zone, in the suite, on the field. There was an ESPN suite on the field. LeBron James and his crew and the Lakers had a suite in the corner, and I was right next to them. So I'm just telling you, I wasn't on the other side. I wasn't rooting for the Rams. I'm lying. I was rooting for the Rams because I was rooting against the Cowboy fans, not the Cowboys. But I tell you, I can't stand them damn Cowboy fans.
Anyway,
you know I am. But I will ask you this. Y'all made the playoffs, went to the divisional playoff round, Amari. There are expectations this year for this team. Are you confident in what your team is going to be able to do? Can you win another division? Can you get to the divisional play? I mean, are we talking Super Bowl? What you trying to say, Amari? What y'all going to do this year?
Well, first I want to say I could have sworn I saw you on the other side.
I swear you did it.
I'll leave it at that. But
that was Cleveland Day, Smith. I saw Cleveland Day.
Go ahead, man.
Well, the first goal of every team is to win a division, because, I mean, if you win a division, you automatically make the playoffs. So that's our first goal. I've never been the type of player to put the cart before the horse, so to speak. I'm all about postseason results. I'm not about the hype, the preseason hype, because it really doesn't matter. What people say before the season might happen or will happen, or all those things. I think we have a lot of good pieces in place. We're a very young team compared to some of the teams I've been on. We have a lot of talented players, man. So if we can figure out this puzzle and do the right things as far as in camp and leading up to the season, I think we definitely have a great shot at making a run and hopefully winning the Super Bowl.
No question. You guys are loaded both sides of the ball. Mari, before we let you go, can you just tell us what you're doing with the Gatorade Beat the Heat program?
Yes, so I'm out here at this offensive and defensive camp, and I'm just really trying to give these young guys information on staying hydrated because it's very important. I'm going to go back out there and tell them, like, look, one time I was in the game and I caught a cramp in the middle of the game, and you never want to put yourself in a position to where you're so dehydrated that you catch a cramp in the game, because it's really no coming back from that. It'll probably take a whole quarter and a half to make that cramp go away, and now you put yourself behind the 8 ball and you can't really be the best for your team, and you never want that to happen, especially in a hot state like Texas. And so you really want to just stay hydrated, and Gatorade is the drink of choice for that.
I like it. Amari, listen, you joined the team halfway through the season, jumped right in, had a tremendous year, so I can't wait to see what you guys do this year. We will certainly be watching.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you, bro. Keep it up. And Dak deserves his money, but I'll be damned if I ever root for a Cowboy fan. Just so you know.
Yes, a pox on your house. Yes.
All right, man. Amari, have a great day.
Thank you. You have a great one, too.
All right.
Damn Cowboy fans.
That's an impressive young man, though.
He's always been impressive. He's always been impressive.
Impressive guy.
He's always been impressive.
Speaking of the Cowboys, when we come back, we'll ask former Cowboy Marcus Spears that Dak should be paid more than Carson Wentz.
Cowboys are not allowed on this